Welcome back everybody, and thank you for tuning into this week's video. Today I figured we'd start the year off simple and do a best fossil finds of 2022 video. And the easiest way to do this is I'm going to show you a handful of my favorite pieces, whether they were detailed or whether there was something interesting about them, or depending on their size, or, well, all three basically. And then have you guys vote on which you think deserves that top spot. So, without further ado, I'm going to head over to the desk and show you what we're working with today. Here are the fossils that we'll be looking at today. Now, what I'm going to do is go piece by piece here and give a verbal explanation of what they are and how I came about finding them. And also, I will be showing the video that they go along with. Most of them are short format videos, so it's not anything too crazy, but I figured it would be a fun little thing to do. So, first up, I think we will take a look at that horn coral right there. Okay, here we are. Like I said just a few seconds ago, this is our horn coral fossil, or more scientifically known, Rugosa coral. The two things I like about this piece, or what I believe earns it a possible top spot, is the fact of its size, which compared to my finger, even though it's kind of weird, it's pretty decent size. I mean, just look at it. Especially for the roadside. And then the fact that our beakite here, which is the white stuff on the surface, goes all the way around the fossil. Now, we will be taking a closer look at that in a second, but one thing to also note is that this is the only piece with beakite going all the way around it in my collection. So that in itself is unique to me. I'm not sure if it's unique for everyone, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. Welcome back everybody, and check out this amazing horn coral fossil. Well, it's technically Rugosa, but a lot of people know it as horn coral. And what you're seeing there on the surface is known as beakite. And it looks awesome. Just wait for the pictures. So, there's our little video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm sorry if the sound was a little bit obnoxious or too loud. I'm going to try and match them as best I can, but I don't think it'll be perfect. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, here's our coral again, and we'll take a closer look at that beakite now. So, here's that beakite, and man, that looks crazy. Trying not to hit my tripod. Oh. Beakite itself is a form of chalcedony, and I read somewhere online that it actually replaces the calcium carbonate on the surface of the fossil. Don't quote me on that last part, I'm not exactly sure, but that's about all the information I know right now, because beakite is relatively new to me. The first time I found it was actually the end of last year, so yeah, it's pretty neat. And it looks so cool on the surface of any fossil. Although I've only found it on horn corals and I think one crinoid. So it doesn't happen often. And as we take a closer look at our top here, it's pretty funny because I can actually see more detail in the top with my naked eye than I can here on camera, although it could be that the camera is just better at revealing, its true detail, so to speak, than my eyes would, so that could also be it. But I just love how crystallized it is, aside from the fact that it's not as detailed as I thought. Wow. I don't know, I'm getting lost in it again, and I've already seen this a million times. And then here's our bottom. There's not much to say about the bottom. There's no detail in it. It is pretty much just limestone. So, yeah. But all around, the fossil is a really good piece. So let me know if you think it deserves that top spot or not. So here's our next fossil, which, as you can see, is a basic gastropod. There's nothing too special about this piece. As you can see, it's not all that big. I guess one of the things to note is the fact that it seems relatively complete compared to the fact that most of the gastropods I find are fragmented. But the reason why I wanted to give this fossil a chance, even though I don't think it will make the top spot, is the fact that it has Dolomite crystals on the surface, which I will try and show you now. Look at how crazy that is. I can't even... Oh, it's starting to shake. I can't even do them justice right now. Here, since I'm shaking too bad, we're just going to jump right into the video, which has some really cool pictures of this piece up close. So let's go to that right now. So, after that video, I hope you guys can see why I fell in love with that piece. It's something that I didn't even realize when I initially found it. I only saw it after I cleaned the piece, and I thought it was weathered really bad. But I'm like, you know what? It's a complete gastropod. I'll keep it. And then when I went to go make a post about it on Instagram and took the pictures, like I said, it blew my mind. I hadn't seen anything like it before, and I actually messaged one of my friends who's better at this type of stuff than I am, and he's the one that actually told me that it was Dolomite crystals. So I could rant on this for a while, but we'll go ahead and move on. Just let me know down in the comments if you think this piece deserves the top spot or the top fossil of 2022. Up next, we have a piece of Halysite chain coral. One thing that you will notice here when I show the short video is that I did clean this piece, but all I did was clean it with a toothbrush and some water, and it came out like this, which is incredible. And then we turn it around, we even got some fossilization poking through on the backside. Funny enough, this is actually the direction it was facing when my mom found it, because she was actually the one that picked this piece up and not me, but we were out fossil hunting together, so I felt like this should be included in the top finds video, because how could I not include something like this? Anyway, before we take a closer look at it, let's head on over to that short video. I hope you guys enjoyed that little clip. It actually is one of my favorite shorts I've ever made still to this day. I'm sure you can see why, because this thing is incredible. And I'm probably going to say that a million more times. But let's get a closer look at this thing. I mean, just the level of detail is crazy. I'm going to learn a bit more about the structure of this piece and cover it more in a breakdown video one of these days, because I really don't know much about how it forms or what all the different parts are called, but that's all part of the process. And if I didn't say this before, maybe I forgot, this is actually the only example of Halysite Coral I have in my collection. Now, I do have some pieces that are similar, which would be the Unported Coral, but they are different, so that also makes this piece pretty special. Anyway, let me know if you guys think this piece deserves the #1 spot in top fossil finds of 2022. Up next, we have a pair of cephalopods. Now, these kind of came in as a late ad, because as I was looking at everything and recording everything, I'm like, we need cephalopods, because up until this year, I actually didn't find many. And this year, I ended up finding a ton of fragmented pieces, a lot like this. Well, maybe not a lot like this. These are some of the better pieces that I have. So, if you want to vote for these two together or vote for them separately, that's fine. But yeah, let's just get right to it and take a closer look at them. Here is the first of 2 cephalopod fragments. Now, the detail on this is not the best. The reason why I chose this one is because of its size. I mean, it's pretty big, especially for the roadside. And it also sparkles, which is pretty cool. But then a third reason is actually because we have a Gastropod imprint on the back. So we have a secondary fossil. And shoot, I just now realized this. We have 2 Gastropod fragments or imprints on the back of this. So that's really neat. Now, one thing I will say about both of these is that neither of them come with their own short video, but that's okay. It'll make this video a little quicker because I know this is going to be a longer video today. Super cool. Look at that. That gastropod fragment looks like it's crystallized almost. And here is our second cephalopod. Now, you can tell right off the bat that this thing is way more detailed than the other one, but it's not as sparkly, so I guess it's kind of a trade-off. You'll notice that we have some dendritic crystals on the surface, and I think even some, yeah, here's some right here also. They're not in the best condition either, but they're dendritic crystals nonetheless. Let me know if you guys think this piece deserves the top spot in 2022 fossils. Or, I guess go ahead and vote for them as a pair, because I presented them as a pair, so why not? And last but not least, we have an amazing horn coral fossil. I mean, this is quite the way to end the video. As we take a closer look, you'll notice just like the first one, we have some beakite on the surface. Now, this doesn't go all the way around the surface of the fossil, but it's still in really good condition. I almost dropped it. As you'll notice, we have some fossilization on the bottom here, and it almost appears to be filled with a chalk limestone versus a standard limestone. And then, of course, we have some Dolomite crystals on the bottom. I mean, this piece just has it all going on. Super neat. Maybe even some fossil debris on the bottom there. But before we take a look at the top of this piece, which is actually my favorite part, we'll go ahead and check out the short that comes along with this. Just look at this crazy horn coral fossil. This could be the find of the year. What you're seeing there on the surface is known as beakite, those little flower-like rings, which is super cool. And they're even on the back here, and you've even got some detail on the bottom still. So this is just an absolutely crazy piece. Alright, so as we bring this video to a close, let's turn this around, and you can see that the inside of this is amazing. It's hollowed out, and you can actually, if my camera will focus, you can actually see the inside detail. You can see kind of the structure of the entire coral, but it's not focusing for some reason. I mean, look at that. Let's just get a good view. Yeah, we'll stay right here because I can't get it focused. This is amazing. I mean, to find a piece like this where it's not completely busted on the roadside, it's incredible. I don't know if I'll ever find another horn coral like this one, but we'll definitely try. Let me know down in the comments if you think this deserves to be the #1 fossil of 2022 or not. I know there was a lot of interesting pieces here. I guess I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. I will announce the winner on next Friday's video, so that'll give you about a week to vote. I might even post this on the community tab, but I'm not quite sure how I would do that yet. But I know this video has gone on long enough, so I will stop ranting, and I will see you guys later. Until next time, rock on.